Happy Friday, everyone, and welcome to Awakened Womb. I'm Latrenta Smith, and I am here to help you walk through your pregnancy loss and infertility trauma through energetic healing techniques. Welcome to the video. I was going to say the channel, but welcome to this video, and thank you so much for joining me once again on this Friday. I am a birth I'm a licensed nurse, an advanced Reiki practitioner, and I'm also a birth doula. So I've found a way and been blessed to merge those three things and help women clear their energetic blocks regarding women's health issues related to pregnancy. So today, I wanted to talk about a subject that I was led to speak on because I saw a post by someone earlier this week, and it was a woman talking about how difficult she is finding it to go to work every day. There are several of her coworkers who are pregnant, and she's having to congratulate or feeling like she has to congratulate them and celebrate their pregnancies, which is of course the thing that we would always want to do, while at the same time grieving her own infertility losses and grieving her own journey of wanting to be pregnant, of not being able to conceive, and of just not even feeling like it's appropriate to express her grief so that it doesn't interfere with their joy. She also spoke about how people, walk up to her and just in casual conversation ask if she ever plans on having children, of course, not knowing what she's going through internally and her own struggle, because again, she doesn't feel free to share it. I'm very led to speak about this because I just want to speak to the women, which is every woman I know really, who has been taught to suffer in silence, to sacrifice for other people, who have been taught that speaking our truths in the wake of somebody else's joy, if it's not happy, is something that should be silenced. We're taught as women to nurture and be caregivers and take care of other people's needs, often at the sacrifice of ourselves. And so sitting with someone in their joy can feel like the thing to do, even if it causes us to ignore our own needs. And we're taught this as women, from a very, very early age. And it's very hard to undo the damage that it causes as we age and as we go through different struggles, because it teaches us that one way is right, which is sacrificing ourselves, not acknowledging our own feelings and emotions, and just going with the flow of making sure that everybody else is okay. And that it is wrong when we have negative feelings, when we have needs that we want to acknowledge, and things that we want other people, or in fact need other people to support us in. We feel like that's selfish. And so women who are feeling so alone because they don't feel like they have the right to speak up about what they're going through, especially when other people around them are happy. People who are feeling like they're failures because their bodies won't do this thing that they wanted to do and create a life inside and be able to carry it. People who are feeling frustrated, abandoned, angry, so many negative emotions that are stuffed inside. And so my practice exists because of this state that we sit in, where we focus on the healing that has to take place in our bodies to move forward from pregnancy loss and to try to help us in our infertility journeys. But we don't give any attention to our minds and our souls. So this creates an imbalance because we are holistically body, mind, and spirit. And all of the things that are going on in all of those arenas impact our souls, impact the way we thrive and the way we make it through life, and set us up for our capacities to give from a positive place. So I wanted to come to you guys today and offer two exercises for you to do if you are someone who's sitting in this place where you're stuffing down your feelings of jealousy and, hurt and sadness when you see other people carrying out their pregnancies and going on their journeys towards having the thing that you so deeply want. So my first exercise involves journaling. I tried to give a name to this, and I'm just gonna call it. I don't know what to call it exactly. I'm gonna work on that. But what I would like for you to do is to get a journal. And I love going to Dollar Tree to get my journals. So this is one of my journals. It's available at Dollar Tree. And I actually found this small journal as well at Dollar Tree. And I have the smaller one because it's compact enough to fit inside my purse or whatever bag I'm carrying. So this exercise can be done anytime. I actually recommend that you start out doing it at night, because doing it at night will give you a way to release negative emotions so that you can sleep well. And also, releasing these emotions before you sleep will allow your body and your mind to process these emotions and store them in the appropriate place so that you can retrieve them as needed in a healthy way. So you'll get a journal, and then I also want you to have a timer. We're going to do this exercise over 1 minute. The reason that there's going to be a limit on doing this exercise is because the purpose for it is to release your emotions, to acknowledge them first of all. So let's just stick with acknowledgement. We want you to acknowledge these emotions, because when you ignore them and suppress them so that you can celebrate with someone else, they're just sitting there. They don't go anywhere just because you ignore them. Just like everything in life doesn't go anywhere. If you ignore a pile of clothes that need to be folded, they're still going to be there and they still need to be folded. And then if you keep washing clothes and never fold them, you're just going to have a bigger and bigger pile of clothes to fold, right? Feelings are the same way. Although we ignore them and we are taught to suppress them, put them away for later, they still sit there and they grow. And so this can definitely lead to an outburst or a breakdown in your mental status where you're so overwhelmed with your feelings that you can't go on. Nothing else can fit. You can't release anything else mentally or emotionally, and you can't take anything else in. So you become stagnant, maybe start to isolate yourself, and this can be prevented. So I'm happy to share this exercise. So we're going to limit our activity to 60 seconds or 1 minute at a time for this reason. Nextly, we're going to take 3 deep breaths. And deep breaths are a signal to our minds and our bodies for calmness and that we're getting ready to do something important that we need to focus on. Next step, we're going to write in our journals for the 1 minute or 60 seconds. And what we're going to be writing is all of the feelings that you are ashamed to say out loud, that you don't feel like you would be supported in if you say out loud, that you feel badly to say out loud because you don't want to bring negativity to somebody else's happy moment. But what I want to let you know is that you have the right to say these things. And so we're going to write them for now, because this is a progressive exercise that I want you to continue over a 7-day period so that you can become more comfortable with the feelings and emotions that exist and hopefully be led to either release or take action. And then finally, if you would like to reflect on what you write, that's just fine. But if you don't want to reflect on it, you don't have to immediately. You will come to a place eventually with more and more work that you will be able to talk to someone about these if you want to. Now, some of you will not need to speak with anyone. For some of you, it'll be enough just to write these emotions out, or these feelings, or these thoughts, and acknowledge them yourself. For others, this is going to be a part of a journey, and you'll get to a place where you'll know the difference. The thing that I want to say about the journals, when you write these things down, I want you to keep the journal entry that you write. I would appreciate it if you would give it a date and a time. Some of you might end up needing to do this maybe twice a day instead of once. I don't recommend that you sit in it again, because this is not an exercise to get you stuck in any place. It's an exercise for release. And this release is meant to lead you to a place where you can actually dig deep and do your work at some point to get to the root and heal the cause of these feelings. So, what I want you to do is keep your journal entries though, and you'll be able to reflect on them later, and they'll help you through your work. Some of you are not able to, for privacy reasons, and of course, if you're not ready to have the discussion with anyone, or you don't feel like you have a safe space to have a discussion about the feelings and emotions that you're having, of course, you might not want to leave your journal entry around, so that someone might find it and read it. If that is your case, I welcome you to take a picture of each journal entry and store it in your phone, maybe in a private album, or most people have passwords. So protect the information that way so that you don't feel like your privacy is going to be invaded. But do keep the journal entries. Okay, so we're actually going to walk through this exercise together so that you can see how it feels. Okay, so you'll have your journal or something that you can write with, and we're going to take 3 deep breaths. Inhale through your nose and exhale through your mouth. Inhale, exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now I'm going to start a 60-second timer, and I want you to start journaling. The timer starts now. When you journal, as you journal, I want you to write every single emotion that you're feeling right now regarding your own pregnancy journey, your infertility, all of the negative emotions that you can't say out loud to people, that you don't feel safe to express or be supported in. I want you to write every single word, every single thought, every single feeling. I want all of it to go down on your journal page over this 1 minute. This is an exercise to release, and there is no wrong thing to write. Whatever you feel is valid, and it is a message from your soul. So honor it by actually acknowledging it and writing it down, because if you don't, it's still going to live inside you, and you run the risk for outbursts, and most of all, you will live in imbalance. There cannot be a balance in your body, mind, and spirit if you are suppressing your emotions, whether you label them good or bad. And this leads to energetic imbalances that affect all of your being, especially your soul. Okay, we have 10 seconds left. Okay, it's time to stop writing. Whatever you didn't write, it's okay, because again, this exercise is going to take place over 7 days. So stop for now unless you feel very strongly led to continue and you have a whole lot left to release. Also, if doing this exercise brings up, you know, if you feel like screaming, if you feel like crying, if you feel like whatever feelings come up, even in addition to your writing, please do acknowledge those feelings and go through with them, as long as they won't harm yourself or anyone else. because this is an exercise for release. All right. So that's the thing that I would like for you to do at night before you sleep. Or again, if you feel the urge and need to do it, if you're put in a situation where you're starting to feel the negative emotions, then that's what your smaller journal would be for. Please feel free to do it. But again, don't spend more than 60 seconds on this. And I don't advise doing it more than twice a day because we're not trying to get stuck in an emotional place. If you do feel a strong urge to do this more than twice a day, I'll give you some instructions at the end of the video. Okay, so I said that part of the exercise first because I want you all to get immediate help, immediate release. The next part of the exercise is an affirmation. So some of you aren't even able to do the exercise that I just went through because you have not yet come to a place where you are able to acknowledge your feelings. You've suppressed your emotions, told yourself they're bad for so long that they don't even come up. So this next part is an affirmation. Some of you will be able to go ahead and start the release exercise that we just did immediately. Others of you will not. Either way, I would like for you to start your morning out with an affirmation. I want you to do this part in the morning and the release part in the evening for the reason that I already gave. But this affirmation is in the morning because throughout the day, as we go and interact with others, we have taught ourselves, we've been conditioned to ignore our emotions, to suppress them. So this affirmation is to help get you to a place where you begin to acknowledge your emotions and your thoughts and your feelings instead of stuffing them down. And all throughout the day, we get cues and we are triggered to feel certain things. So I want you to exist at a level of awareness where this exercise will work because you'll bring attention to the thoughts and feelings and emotions that you're having rather than continuing to ignore them. So this affirmation is posted in the description for this video, and I want you to start your mornings out by saying it 3 times. So I'm going to read it 3 times. It says, "My feelings are valid messages from my soul. I will acknowledge them and either take action or release. My feelings are valid messages from my soul. I will acknowledge them and either take action or release. My feelings are valid messages from my soul. I will acknowledge them and either take action or release." This is your affirmation, and by stating this again, you are welcoming your feelings as valid instead of ignoring them and suppressing them. And once you do this, you'll be able to do the second part of the exercise more easily. I ask that you continue this exercise over a 7-day period so that you can tap into everything that's there, even the things that you might not initially be aware of that aren't on the surface because they've been buried. The main thing though is that I want you to realize that there is no good or bad way to handle infertility or pregnancy loss or anything else that you're going through. And your feelings, whether they're negative or positive, according to your point of view, society's point of view, whatever standard you or measure your feelings by, just because you have a negative feeling, that doesn't mean you're a bad person. And that doesn't mean that the feeling itself is bad. It's coming up for acknowledgement so that you can honor your soul. It lives inside and it wants to be released. So there is no right or wrong way to support others. We don't have to suppress our own needs to support others, because just like we want to be happy for other people and support them, if someone else knew what you were going through because you didn't feel like you had to hide it and put on a happy face and just be there for others and not for yourself, somebody else would likely want to support you too. So we just have to get to a place where we feel okay and where we learn ways to express our needs without feeling guilty and ashamed of them. And this way is certainly a great start to your healing. So I mentioned that some of you might feel the need to do this exercise more than once or twice a day. That indicates that you need some guidance and support through this process of releasing energy blockages, releasing the negative emotions that are buried inside. So I'm happy to walk with you on that journey. And in order to book a session with me, just go ahead to my scheduling page, which is on Calendly at calendly.com. And the / for my business is My Awakened Womb. So again, you can schedule with me at calendly.com / My Awakened Womb. I would love to go on this journey with you, and I'm so happy to share this exercise with you so that you can start on your journey to energetic healing. Join me again here next Friday. Thanks so much. Bye bye.